Hello and welcome to another podcast bite powered by India Law LLP. I am Shamin. Today we are looking at Supreme Court decision that address a practical but important civil procedure question. When a dispute concerns valuable immovable property, must a suit for mandatory injunction necessarily be valued at the market value of that property? In Bharat Bhushan Gupta versus Pratap Narayan Verma and another, decided on 16 June 2022, the Supreme Court clarified that suit valuation depends primarily on the nature of the relief claim. The market value of the property may be relevant in some cases, but it does not automatically control valuation merely because an immovable property is involved. The plaintiff claimed ownership of a 252 square yard plot at India Park Extension, Uttam Nagar, New Delhi. His case was that the defendants had been permitted to use parts of the property as gracious licensees and were expected to vacate when asked. When the defendants allegedly failed to vacate, the plaintiff served a legal notice in August 2016 terminating their license and filed a suit seeking mandatory injunction, a permanent prohibitory injunction against third-party rights or construction, and damages for use and occupation. For court fee and jurisdiction purpose, the plaintiff valued each injunction relief at rupees 250 and claimed 1 lakh as damage for the initial period, paying court fees accordingly. During the plaintiff's cross-examination in March 2018, he was asked the approximate market value of the suit property at the time the suit was filed. He answered that it was around 1.8 crore. Relying on that answer, the contesting defendant moved an application under Order 7, Rule 11 of the Code of Civil Procedure. The argument was that if the property itself was worth around 1.8 crore, the suit had been undervalued and the trial court lacked pecuniary jurisdiction. The trial court rejected the application, holding that an Order 7, Rule 11 challenge had to be tested from the plaintiff and the reliefs actually claimed. The Delhi High Court took a different view. It relied substantially on the plaintiff's statement about the market value and concluded that valuing the injunction relief at rupees 250 each was arbitrary. The High Court therefore ordered return of the plaintiff for presentation before a court of appropriate pecuniary jurisdiction. The Supreme Court set aside that approach. The key principle was that the nature of the relief claim is decisive for suit valuation. A case does not become a market value suit simply because immovable property happens to be its subject matter. The court referred to Section 7, Clause 4, Subclause G of the Court Fees Act, which deals with suits for injunction and permit the plaintiff to state the amount at which the relief sought is valued. The discretion is not unlimited and cannot be whimsical. However, the existence of a high market value by itself does not convert an injunction suit into a suit that must be valued at the full value of the property. The Supreme Court also found that the High Court has treated the cross-examination answer in isolation. The pleaded case was that the defendant were licensees whose license has been terminated and that mandatory injunction was sought to make them vacate. The judgment also notes that settled position that mandatory injunction may be available against a license after termination of the license, particularly when the licensor approaches the court within a reasonable time. The Supreme Court referred to decisions including Santlal Jain and Maria Margarida Squera Fernandez, which recognized that in appropriate case, a title holder may seek a mandatory injunction requiring a licensee to remove himself and his belongings after the license has ended. The court did not decide the merit of underlying dispute. By then, the trial court has decreed the suit and a first appeal was pending, so factual and substantive issues were expressly left open. The Supreme Court found that the High Court has overlooked the very legal framework it had discussed. The High Court had recognized that an injunction suit could in principle be valued by the plaintiff subject to the valuation not being whimsical, but then treated the stated market value of rupees 1.8 crore as which virtually conclusive. That according to the Supreme Court was the error. Market value was not the controlling benchmark merely because the litigation concerned immovable property. Valuation had to follow the reliefs claimed and the applicable court fee provision. The court also held that the commercial aviation decision did not establish that every injunction concerning property must be valued at market value. The Supreme Court allowed the appeal, set aside the Delhi High Court's order dated 18 March 2019 and restored the trial court's order dated 11 July 2018, rejecting the Order 7 Rule 11 application. There was no order as to cost. Just and importantly, the Supreme Court expressly stated that it was making no observation on the merits of the underlying case, which remained open for examination in the pending first appeal. For civil litigators, the takeaway is straightforward. Suit valuation follows the relief sought, not simply the headline value of the asset. Where the plaintiff genuinely seeks an injunction and the governing provision permits valuation by the plaintiff, market value cannot automatically be substituted merely because land or a building is involved. At the same time, the plaintiff's discretion is not absolute. Courts can intervene where valuation is demonstrably arbitrary or where an objective statutory standard applies. The judgment therefore does not create a license for artificial undervaluation. It reinforces a more precise rule. First, identify the true relief in the plain, then apply the valuation provision that legally governs that relief. That brings us to the end of today's podcast bite. The case is Bharat Bhushan Gupta versus Pratap Narayan Verma and another, civil appeal number 4577 of 2022, decided by Supreme Court of India on 16 June 2022. Thank you for listening to Podcast Bite powered by India Law LLP. I'm Shami. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back with another concise update on legal developments that matter.